We do rehabilitation 7 days a week, which is something that most rehab centers and even skilled nursing facilities don't do. Our principle is, as soon as they get out of the hospital, the quicker they get into rehab, the quicker they're going to be better and quicker they're going to get home. So when you come in on Friday afternoon, you're going to be assessed and you're going to start therapy on Saturday, not waiting until Monday to get usually what happens is you come in on a Friday, you don't even get assessed until Monday afternoon, which means you don't start rehab till Tuesday. You go 5 days and not
Who knows what's going to happen in those 5 days, yes.
Exactly. So we know the quicker we get it started, 3 hours every single day of intense rehab. We do a lot of creative things in rehab to get people involved. We were the first in the state, I believe, in our rehab unit to put the Wii video games as part of our rehab program. Got a huge 42-inch plasma screen TV in our rehab centers, and what we've got is we got people, we started off with a bowling game. We had a guy who came in, and he literally could not walk, had not moved at all out of the hospital bed for 6 weeks. And so what a challenge, you know, because his muscles wouldn't work, and so, but we started playing the Wii game, and he used to be a bowler, and he wanted to get up and play that game so bad, and so that was part of his motivation. And so we would lay him out on the mat, or kind of a simulated bed, and he would sit on the edge of it, and he would take that remote control, and he would do like this to bowl. Well, then we finally got him up in the wheelchair and started moving him there. And by the time he left, in about a 6-week period, that man was bowling, and he was actually doing his bowling walk and move and everything.
You are kidding, Scott. Where is he?
He's actually in our Columbia.
We'd love to do a story on him. That is tremendous.
One of the newspapers.
I'm sure a paper in the Midlands would probably nag that or tag that already.
No, but I'll send you a copy of it. You might want to run it down here.
That could be tremendous, yes. And just seeing examples of that. Now, are the Wii's located around the state, or just the one?
No, we've got Wii's, and actually what we did is we created a Wii team where we hired teenagers to come in afternoons and on the weekends, and they're the Wii team, and they take this Wii video machine and they carry it around to every area, whether it's our Alzheimer's dementia areas or whether our enhanced cares nursing homes, and they just go around and play.
Get down.
Yeah, and it gets people up, and all of a sudden they're exercising and rehabbing, and they don't even know it, because they're having such a good time. So we have fabulous Fridays where we do group therapy, and we get everybody together, and every week it's something different. And we will have patients who will beg for us not to discharge them until after Friday so they can go through fabulous Fridays.
Oh, come on, Scott, you are kidding.
No, I promise you. They'll say, I'm not going home until at least 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon because I want to go. And families will come in and watch and play, and also it's all about an atmosphere of love and excitement and joy, and that's what Agape Rehab is really been able to offer.
And still faith-based, which is wonderful to recognize, coming back to a central purpose there.
We have about 15 chaplains across the state, full-time people who work for Agape Senior, which is very unusual for, quote, the nursing home industry, you know, to have people who work for the facilities themselves. They also work together in peer groups to help support each other, help learn new programs that might be helpful for folks, but doing Bible studies, one-on-one chaplain services. It's really important to our residents that they don't lose that opportunity to worship when they come into one of our entities or facilities.
Absolutely. Boy, Scott, that is tremendous. You're like a kid in a candy shop, you know, talking about it. Just
every
thrilled.
single
I'm sure
day.
You've got anecdotal and direct examples from all over the state, all over your locations. Y'all have how many? Has it been, of course, you're about to celebrate your 10th anniversary in 2009, a real focus there, which is very exciting. You said you set up the company in 1999.
In 1999, we started with a 40-bed assisted living facility in West Columbia. We were about a mile from Lexington Hospital off I-26. And over the course of the years, we were able to either purchase or start building different facilities, and now we have 9 facilities across the state. We have 4 that are under construction, though.
Wow.
Across the state.
Including the one in Conway.
The one in Conway, that's right.
Good.
And actually in Conway, we will be starting groundbreaking for another new building in Conway in about 30 days. We're trying to get through permitting right now.
Wow.
And so we will build a 30-unit assisted living apartment complex that will go with the skilled nursing facility and the enhanced and Alzheimer's care that we already offer there on that campus.
Wonderful, Scott. Yes. Now, of course, this is a heavily regulated industry. It's not something that a lot of folks can just step into. They can't open up assisted living facilities or skilled nursing and rehab or even hospice. That is something, maybe hospice less so, but the other ones, I mean, there's a lot of regulations, a lot of requirements that have to be
It's
met.
the most heavily regulated industry in the country. And I get so frustrated because a lot of times the nursing home quote industry gets this bad press about bad things that happen in nursing homes. But the truth is there's more bad things happening to seniors in their home environment than there are in nursing homes, because the home environment is completely unregulated. So for example, you decide to keep mama at home and you go out and hire a sitter. Those sitters are not licensed. Even if you go to an agency, they are not licensed. They are not governed at all. They don't necessarily have to have background checks on their folks. They don't follow up. So you never really know when a person comes into your home what they may do or not do to monitor with, whereas we are so regulated. I mean, we have state and federal agencies that are coming in, and various agencies that are coming in, on average probably 3 to 4 different inspections in a given year.
And they can pop in anytime they want, any day of the week.
Anytime, and anybody can call one of the state ombudsman's offices and say, I've got concern, and then they're there. In fact, we're working with the state ombudsman office now to actually, they've got a volunteer program that they're coming out with where they will place a volunteer ombudsman and assign them to a facility.
Right.
And we're working with them because we want to be the first people to do that. So we would actually have an ombudsman person who is stationed in our Garden City and Conway facilities on a regular basis to make sure that they watch and oversee, and they're there for any patient concerns at all.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
Good for y'all saying bring it, not bring it on, but come on in.
Right, because we want to work with them. We work really close with the ombudsman offices here, because what happens is they get into a lot of situations at home where people aren't being cared for and they're looking for placement. So we try to help and work with them.
And I'm sure if there is anything, you want to make sure, you want to be made aware of it. You want to make sure that they let you know about anything.
Yeah.
Both good and anything else. And of course, it's all good.
One of the things is you'll see we have a host of these companies. We have a pharmacy, an ambulance, a physician's practice, and one of the things that sets us apart different is that we have a physician assistant or a nurse practitioner who work in our entities and work for Agape Senior, and they work for either one of the local physicians, in the area, and they actually come to our facility to see our residents. So we're not always having to pack them up, put them in an ambulance or a transport, take them and let them sit 2 hours at a doctor's office appointment, waiting for the doctor. All of that can be done there. Blood work, any kind of lab work and stuff can be drawn right there in the facility and taken. So we try to help maneuver the system for folks so that when children and relatives are coming to visit, they come to visit. They don't come because I got to coordinate mama's medical schedule and her doctor visits, or I don't have to run to the pharmacy and pick up her prescriptions. I can actually come and just spend time with mom, being her daughter and taking care of her.
I can't fathom all this that you're highlighting. Is this all coming out of you and Evelyn's heads, all out of your head, all out of, or was there a model you saw somewhere else in the country with this brilliant idea of covering all bases there? Is there some other example, or is this entirely novel to Agape Senior nationwide?
Well, we actually created the model here in South Carolina.
Brilliant.
Because we started out with assisted living, and we started looking at where our residents and patients were having most issue. And so as each one of our organizations have really grown out of a patient need. And they're not all profitable organizations, let me tell you that too. Sometimes that's the mission, that we offer to somebody, because we know that that's a needed service for our patients, and so we reach out to take care of them. But one of the things I was going to point out, the only thing that we don't do in all of this continuum of care is we don't provide home care services. And a lot of times people will say, well, gosh, Scott, why don't you do that? And my biggest issue is that on a short-term basis, having somebody come in and sit with mom while she's recuperating from an illness is a good thing. But honestly, once a person gets to the point where they can't drive, they cannot get out, they start to lose socialization skills, because they are in a home by themselves, sometimes 20 to 24 hours a day without any communication with anybody else. And what we found is that it causes a host of other illnesses. They sit in front of the TV and they don't do anything all day long. So
hopefully they're catching you right now. But other than that, yes, no, excuse me.
Exactly. But what we found is that when people of any age come into our environment, even if they're very independent, we've got a lady living with us up in the Columbia area right now who is going to turn 100 in this summer. We do nothing for her. She actually is one of the most active people at Agape Senior. She is an artist and she paints. She is part of our resident council. She is on the internet every single day because we do have wireless internet connections throughout all of our buildings, so they can bring their laptops or their computers and hook right on. She emails her family. She leads the exercise programs for her building every single day. And because she has been so active and she has so many friends in the facility, we contribute that to why she has such great health. She's in great shape and great condition and living a full and vibrant life even at 100.
At 100, that's tremendous.
But she's been living with us for almost 15 years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That is
so
tremendous.
She came in at the right time. She came in when she had an opportunity to meet people and get to be friends with folks and get involved in the community.
Scott, we've run out of time, but I'm sure viewers have got to be thinking, what is driving Scott? I mean, what's this all about? What is it for you? Is it's obviously you're lifting it up to the Lord, you're being guided by Him, but
the vision is every vision that we've had has come as a gift from God that has showed us where we needed to go for our next step. And I will tell you that every once in a while, especially when I go to national conferences, I come back with all these regulations that we are required to keep up with, and I think, why in the world are we in this business? But here's why we're in there. Got a telephone call from a preacher friend of mine not long ago, and it was a woman, and she says, Scott, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm getting ready to go in the hospital. My husband is ill. He can't take care of himself, and I'm probably not going to be able to go straight back home when I leave. Tell me what to do. And I said, don't worry about a thing. I said, you go on to the hospital. We got her husband seen to the doctor. We made sure that he had some issues and needed to be hospitalized. Both of them came out of the hospital, shared the same room in our rehab center for about 3 weeks. We got both of them intense rehab for about for 3 hours every day for about 3 weeks, and they were able to go home last week. And I look back and I go, that's why I do it. Because people call me and they're hurting, they're in pain, and they don't know how to work this system.
Right.
And Agape will take care of it all.
That's great. Scott, sorry we've run out of time. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Stay tuned to a little more Scott Middleton coming up next. I was working like heck to get it down to 9 words. I couldn't. I got it down to 10 to match up with the 9 points and that beautiful star, the logo for Agape Senior. Think about it. These 10 words, real simple. Integrated health services for seniors in a faith-based atmosphere. If I didn't have that A in there, I could have gotten it. Integrated health services for seniors in a faith-based atmosphere. Take the time to learn more about Agape Senior online at agapesenior.com or pick up the phone 843-357-0200. Scott Middleton, so many others making a difference every day in the lives of seniors. Take the time, agapesenior.com. Scott, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.